I have for you now a clip of Donald Trump Jr. going on genuinely one of the most unhinged, detached from reality rant I've seen in a very long time. And I do this job, so I see a lot of unhinged rants. And this one ranks very high up there and highlights the fake version of the opposition that is thought of, that is perceived in the minds of so many within the right wing. They are fighting against a version of the left, liberals, that just doesn't exist, as you're about to see with this bonkers moment on the Full Send podcast with Donald Trump Jr.
Of all the bullshit that we're force feeding, children. It's okay for a 3-year-old to chop their dick off. That's totally normal. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes for another 15 years, but go ahead and do that. What could go wrong?
Who are you talking about? Number one, okay? Number one, name one or find one example of a 3-year-old having that happen. And then, number two, find one person, and you can find someone who believes almost anything in this country, but even so, I don't think you could find this. On the left, one Biden voter, let's say, who supports 3-year-olds having that happen. I don't particularly love the sentence, but you heard what he said. That is just fantasy world. But yeah, you're going to be the hero in your own political story when the opposition is magically actually believing that 3-year-olds should be mutilated like that. No one on the left believes that, sir.
All the gender affirmation bullshit. I think it's just a literal attack on everything that we hold near and dear, everything that would be a historical, traditional, normal American norm. And they're trying to break it down.
I'm wondering when they're going to be like, you can't even do gender reveals. When it's like, you can't assume a baby's gender.
Well, no, because everything's racist, right? Everything that today, it's like, that's...
Okay, I wish I could show more of the clip before cutting in again, but how does that make any sense? Something's wrong with Don Jr. I'm trying to hold in just a complete combustion of laughter and also being angry because this is dangerous, but it's also funny because it's so... as I said in the last segment, instead of saying dumb, I'm going to say profoundly incorrect or ignorant. There, he responds to the other guy saying, we're not going to be able to have gender reveals by saying, shh, stop. Let me get this out. They think everything, they think everything's racist. But that doesn't have anything... That doesn't have anything to do with race, though. Gender reveals have nothing to do with race. All right, we charge forward bravely.
The religion, right? It's racism or it's climate change. Literally, every problem in the world is one of those two things.
I'm sorry. Do y'all want to watch the whole clip? I'm sorry. Okay. The left is coming for your gender reveals because it's racist. And it's climate change.
According to the radical left these days. And
but
the
for
problem
what?
is...
For what?
I don't know because it doesn't make any sense to me, but you see the constant attempt at breaking down these systems, right? I don't know what's the purpose of having to show graphic, sexual details to children in elementary school. Like you see, right? Bordering stuff that pornographic material in text. It must be on a child. Why?
Yeah.
You have to destroy innocence at that, or you can't let them figure it out, whatever. And again, I don't give a shit, dude. If you're an adult and you want to be trans and you do it, great.
Yeah.
If you're happy, you're productive. I actually
Forcing it
don't
on
give
the
a shit.
kids is
I'm fairly
that's the
liberal on the
crazy
issue. You force it on a 3-year-old.
Well,
you get parents and try to say a parent shouldn't decide, but your rainbow-haired freak show teacher should be able to convince a 3-year-old that they're doing this and permanently mutilate their body. That's fucking bullshit.
So, yeah. According to Donald Trump Jr., the deal with the left, this is what people believe the left to be, okay? Ready? We're going to walk through. I'm an honest guy. I'm going to give him an honest shake and try to restate what he outlined for us there. The left wants to, let's see, mutilate your 3-year-old. All right, cool. They want to have porn in the library. If there's porn in the library, Don, get it out. What we don't like is whenever you say there's porn in the library and then you go, so we're just gonna go get the porn out. All right, is that cool? And I'm like, whoa, yeah, there's porn. Get it out. Here's my little scene. Okay, this is my theater. And then Don Jr. goes, all right, cool. Hey, by the way, I removed everything that talks about LGBTQ people. That's what we don't like. Or we found some racism in the library. We want that out. And then everyone goes, sure, no problem. And then they go, awesome. While we're at it, we're gonna get rid of every discussion of race. And this Rosa Parks book, we're gonna chuck it out. That's what we don't like. Oh, and by the way, how could I not include this? It's so important to the strength of his argument. The reason why we have all these bonkers views, and specifically why we don't want to have gender reveals, is because it's racism. That's what the gender reveals are. And if it's not racism, it's climate change. I mean, you can't argue with that, to be frank. And then he goes back to the 3-year-olds thing. Yeah, I don't know what world he's living in. It's not this one. I don't even think it's in this solar system, but it's bonkers and it is dangerous, because if you believed that, what we just walked through about the left, about your opposition, what would you feel is justified? Horrible things. And they're constantly, ruthlessly, baselessly calling the left all that and more, groomers and all these different things. And it's just not true. That's not what the left stands for. And in the name of protecting the kids, they now take all of these actions that we're watching them take, and they demonize LGBTQ people, and they get rid of books, as I said, just basic conversations about race that aren't at all what they're describing them to be. But then when it comes time to actually protect kids, when it comes to the leading cause of death for children, they're nowhere to be found. They don't want to regulate guns because of their interpretation of the Second Amendment. So it's disingenuous, it's dishonest, and it's dangerous.